Hey, what is up? This is John Delony with Ramsey Network. We are taking your Ask John at RamseySolutions.com emails today. We've got some more awesome ones. Here we go. Let's party. So, I'm going to call this dude Dan. I hope that's not Dan's real name. Sorry, Dan, if that's your real name. I didn't put his real name on the email. Dr. Delony, you've been such a calming blessing in these times. Thank you for joining the Ramsey team. Thank you. Big thanks to Dave. He pays me. It's all working out good. I'm a man in my mid-30s, married to the most kind, peaceful, loving woman I've ever known. She is always the peacemaker. I can be pretty pig-headed and easily irritated at times, and I feel ashamed that I haven't grown up in that way yet. We are both on our second marriage, and we have a little boy on the way August 1st, the first kid for both of us. Some of these negative character issues stem from watching my parents growing up and then cementing them through my own bonehead choices. I never want to make my wife feel small again, and I never want my son to see me mistreat her. Where do I start to leave these things behind? Thank you for your help. Number one, Dan. Thanks for having the courage to type this out. Most dudes, especially pig-headed dudes, are too proud and too tough and too like, yo, what's up? Let's do a CrossFit WOD to actually sit down and say, hey, I'm hurting my wife and I want to get better. Thank you for doing that. Number two, thanks for being willing to give us another shot a second time and to say, hey, I screwed this up the first time. I want to make it better. Kudos to you, Dan. All right. Number three, your parents gave you a bad model. Cool. Put a period at the end of that sentence. Never mention it again. It's a context, not an excuse, okay? We often live into the picture that our parents gave us, right? I do dad like my dad did dad because that's what I know dads do. And my wife does wife the way she saw her mom do wife. And so we have to learn together and we have to communicate. When we get into negative patterns, we realize where they came from. That's awesome, but we can't carry that stuff around. So we're going to stop from this point forward, Dan, and we're going to live this way, not looking back at what mom and dad gave us. All right, so you said that you did not want to make your wife feel small again. You don't want your wife to have to play the peacemaker again. That is a role so often that men squish and compress women into, is this idea that they've got to always be worrying about everybody else's feelings instead of being able to be their authentic, true self. So you want to stop making your wife feel small? Decide, I'm going to stop making my wife feel small. That's it. Now, I know that sounds simple and trite and cheesy, but decide to not make her feel small again. Because here's the deal. When I hear a dude tell me that they're being irritable or they're being pig-headed and they're in their mid-30s, that screams male depression to me. Because most men do not have the skills or the ability to talk, to communicate, to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling about things. They know two things. One, puff their chest out and look hardcore, or two, get in a recliner and play video games. Hide, right? Puff your chest up, hide. That's how men handle that kind of stuff. So the key for you is this. When you feel yourself about to be a jerk, when you feel yourself about to snap or be irritable, that's when you have to stop. You got to stop yourself and say, what is my brain trying to protect me from right now? Because it doesn't happen accidentally, but it does happen automatically. And so you walk into a room and the room's a mess and you were expecting dinner on the stove or whatever the thing is in your world. And it starts building. That's your body releasing those hormones, right? Those fight, flight, or freeze hormones, those stress hormones, that anger, that, hey, something in here isn't how I thought it was going to be. The picture of what I was about to see is different than what I thought it was going to be. And now you got a choice. Right then. To act like a baby, act like a child, throw a temper tantrum, throw a fit. Again, like you said, like you saw happen. Or realize this picture is different than the one you had in mind. That's cool. If I need to have a conversation about my wife and I, our pictures are different, we're going to do it in a neutral site, right? Out of the emotions, out of the frustration, out of the anger. But you get to decide right now, what are my thoughts and actions going to be? Your thought can be, A, my wife is lazy again. She's not doing anything. I'm out working so hard. Or they can be, man, I bet she worked her butt off today. I bet today was hard. I can't wait to sit down and figure out how hard things were for her and what I can do to decrease the stress and the anxiety in her world. How can I bring that down for her? Those are your two choices you got. You can choose one or you can choose two. You emailed me to figure it out. So here's a couple of things you can do. Number one, you can do SOS, skin on skin. That brings down everybody's fight or flight or freeze stress response, right? That doesn't have to be sexual. It can be holding hands. That can be touching feet when you wake up in the morning. That can just be hugs, right? So I'd recommend 4 times a day, 3 times a day. Right when you wake up, right before you leave work, right when you get home, right before you go to bed. If it ends up being sexual touch, intimacy time, good and grand. But really what you're trying to do is just connect with somebody, right? Number 2, gratitude. Every day, Dan, I want you to write 5 things that start with the sentence, I am grateful for, about my wife. Fill it in. I am grateful that she XYZ. I am grateful that she ABC. I am grateful that she 1, 2, 3, and do it every single day. And the last thing, I want y'all to go get a marriage counselor, and I want you to initiate it. And I want you to take your wife out to dinner, and I want you to tell her, I messed up during my first marriage. It didn't go like I wanted it to go. And I want to do better this time, and I recognize I'm already running over you. I'm already forcing you into position of being the peacemaker around here, to dealing with my brattiness, my childhood nonsense. And I want to be better, and I want to change. And so I'm asking you to go with me to a marriage counselor so I can work on the things I need to work on. Don't talk about things she needs to work on, you talk about the things you need to work on. And I don't know a wife on planet Earth that won't respond positively to that. But if that does happen to be your wife, tell her to email me at askjohn@ramseysolutions.com, and we'll answer her email here too. Thank you so much. This has been Dr. Delony, and I will talk to you later. Subscribe, press the buttons, follow me at John Delony, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.